Hi everyone, welcome to today's session on the certificates required for All India Counselling. I think most of you would have already been looking at the possibilities and would have started evaluating institutes. We have been receiving many calls on how to do that, and we've been supporting candidates with that, and we are going through, most of them are going through a very structured process. Looks happy to see them use data and look at all information that is available and use it to their advantage. Now we will be looking at all the certificates required for All India Counselling. You have another 2 months, solid 2 months for you to get all the certificates ready in case you want anything to be done beyond a timeline that is prescribed. You will have to get all those ready as well. You might have most of the certificates required as of now, but this is just to reconfirm everything as far as All India Counselling is concerned. Note that every state has distinct list of certificates. One for eligibility for the state. You might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 certificates for eligibility for state. Each state may be stringent in that process. Some states may be stringent in their process, etc. But as far as All India is concerned, everyone who is NEET PG qualified is eligible. So the domicile or nativity part is completely taken away. You just need your regular Aadhaar or any identity card which is provided. As far as the Indian nationality is concerned, you don't need any other certificate. We'll come to that. And so here we are looking at only All India Counselling certificates. This is the first step towards getting the certificate. So we will be looking at that. State level certificates we will touch upon in a bit, but we will be looking at them in detail for each state counselling, for each category, which category needs what. So we'll look at this. We will not be covering NRI certificates in this. We already have a video on NRI certificates. That is, there's been a change in one additional certificate, which is the relationship certificate, which is also the family tree, which has also been an additional requirement right from last year's mop-up round. So with this as base, we will just start for all candidates who are applying for All India Quota, who are applying for DNB, who are applying for deemed seats in All India Counselling, will need this set of certificates. When do you need this set of certificates is the first thing. You don't need them during registration. First thing, you don't need them during registration. You will register with 5 or 6 fields. Just your name, your roll number, your application number, your mobile number, email ID, and possibly your mother's name or 1 or 2 other fields they may ask for checking whether it is actually you who is applying. So very importantly, keep these available. This will be in your admit card or in your application form. Keep both of them available for MCC registration. But the point here is MCC registration does not require what? Any upload to be done. Nothing is to be uploaded. Every certificate mentioned over here is required only at the time of admissions. You register in MCC, fill your choices, you are allotted a seat, you are going to join the seat in a particular college. It is at that point in time you will need all of these certificates. There will be 2 certificates especially for PWD candidates and possibly the other set being the NRI list of candidates, which might need to be sent to MCC earlier. For all other candidates who are looking for AAQ, DNB, deemed management quota seats, no certificate is required to be uploaded at the time of registration. No scan is required, nothing is required for All India Counselling. We'll start with the certificates. So first, this is the list of essential certificates. Since we'll be going through each one, each of these one by one, I'll just leave it at that for you to have a look at these certificates. These are listed as essential certificates by MCC. What does essential certificates mean? There is no definition provided by MCC. There is no clear clarity provided by MCC, but these certificates are mentioned as essential. We have seen by experience over the years that when a candidate takes these certificates to an institute, and if the institute asks for any certificate other than the essential certificate, they can go back saying that MCC has mentioned that these are the list of essential certificates. So admit me, I will later provide any other certificate that you request, which is over and above the essential certificates mentioned by MCC. In fact, 3 years back in 2019, MCC even notified mentioning that please admit the candidates using with the essential certificates. That was it was in 2020, I guess. So please admit the candidates using the essential certificates, and with an affidavit or a letter saying that they will submit the rest of the certificates later. So this means this set of certificates are required and mandatory. You shouldn't miss those, but this will be sufficient for joining. While we say that, there is an important thing. Even though these are sufficient for joining, don't go there with these certificates alone and try to substantiate the point that I have all essential certificates and therefore I do not bring anything else. At that point in time, after you are allotted, you always call up the institute, ask them what other certificates are required, and whatever is available with you, take it with you, so that there is less of a problem and you don't have to handle that issues surrounding additional certificates not being available. So this is the list of essential certificates. We will first look at the essential certificates one by one. First is what is mentioned is the allotment letter by MCC. When will you get it? You register for the counseling, when? Possibly May and June, July, whenever it happens. So you get the allotment letter by MCC. After registration, after choice filling, after being allotted, and there will be an allotment list which is published. Let us say it is published at 9 AM in the morning on a particular day. By in another 3 to 4 hours, in your login itself, in your MCC login for the counseling, you will find the allotment letter. You can download that. So this is confirmation that you have been allotted the seat. You can look at the seat, the location of the, it will mention the seat, exact seat in terms of the institute, course, quota, the category you have been allotted in, your rank, your photograph and everything. All these details will be in the allotment letter. You don't need to worry about this now. So this is not required to be prepared now. You will get it at the time of allotment, and you can download it from anywhere. It is online in your login. So even you can be traveling to the institute and then download the allotment letter, etc. After the final results are out, you will start your travel. You don't need to wait for the allotment letter, but even at the institute, you can download it on your mobile and then take a printout and give it to them. There is nothing else additionally required on the allotment letter, no signature or no photo. Next is the admit card by NBE. Most of the queries at the time of admission will be this. You won't believe, even more than how good the institute is, the first query will be, how will I get my admit card? Because the admit cards will not be there in your LBE login for a long time. I am not sure if they are there even now. If it is there now, first thing, get your admit card downloaded as a PDF from your NBE exam login. You have completed your exam. In case it is not available from your NBE exam login at a later point in time or today, write to exam NBE communications portal. We will show you how to write, which is the portal. At any point in time, you can go back, search for NBE communications portal, go here and give your email ID, select your department as examinations conduct, give your email ID, etc. Verify your email ID, you will get an OTP or something, and then raise a query saying, my roll number is this, my application number is this, and I missed my admit card, please give my, please send my admit card. They will send it to your email ID within a day or two, no issues at all. So you will have your admit card at a later point in time, but it is always better to have your admit card today, because even for registration, you might need some details like your application number and your roll number which is mentioned in your admit card, and other details too, exactly the name as in exactly in your admit card, etc. should be mentioned. So this is a very important document. Save it now. Better option, mail it to yourself. Far better option, save it in your Google Drive so that you can take it from anywhere. Some candidates come up asking, I took my admit card printout to the exam center, I put in my photograph, my invigilator came in and made a pencil mark, something else in my admit card. Should I take the exact same admit card? Nothing is required. That you can take a new printout of a PDF, that is a new admit card, affix your photograph and take it at the time of admissions. No issues on that. All you need is now a PDF which is available with you. If you have your hard copy that you took to the exam, well and good, but a PDF is enough. Results or rank letter by NBE. Your results, the results have been published on March 14th. The scorecard is not yet out. At least till now, I don't think the scorecard is out. It will usually take a week or so. So possibly in the next few days, another 2 to 3 days, you will get it in your NBE login. Download the scorecard. This is a NEET PG scorecard. It will mention your category. It will mention your overall rank. This is a scorecard that you can use across any counseling across India, and this is your NEET PG qualification of the basic document which provides for your NEET PG qualification with your score. There will be multiple scorecards shared at a later point in time, something like an AAQ scorecard. There might be something else shared like a category rank or something else. Don't worry about that. This scorecard that is shared over the will be shared over the next 2 days from the NBE login, which is called the NEET PG scorecard, is what you will use for admissions applications across every state. So have this scorecard. This is also required during the admissions. It will be released in a day or two, and it will not have your category ranks. Don't worry about it. This is what is the final scorecard. Category ranks are relevant for all India counseling. This is a scorecard which is used across. Now MBBS degree by the university, you will need your MBBS degree by the university. In case your MBBS degree is on hold with an institute, you are on bond, etc., you will have to get this. Without your MBBS degree, you can't go back with a letter saying that my MBBS degree is available in a particular institute, and therefore please admit me based on a certified copy given by the HOD, principal, or the university head. Or that will not work. You need your MBBS degree. It can be provisional or permanent, that is fine. Usually permanent degree certificate is required, but provisional many institutes accept it now. And you also need your mark sheets of MBBS, first, second and third exams. Some institutes we have heard that don't give mark sheets, some give it in the form of transcripts, etc., which is slightly different. But if you are missing a first year mark sheet, second year mark sheet, try to get that. Many institutes are flexible on that, but you end up in an institute which will say give me all my mark sheets, then you will have a problem. Usually if one of the exam mark sheets is not there, not a problem. There is another problem, another issue that candidates come up with. They say that all my first, second and third year mark sheets were together given to me at the end of the exams by the university. No issues, take it together. It is not like first should be separate, second should be separate, third should be separate. It is a letter, it is basically a certification from the university that of all your marks against the subjects. Now internship completion certificate by the college, in case you are yet to complete your internship, it may happen this year, and it has happened every year. Unlike what you see across groups, every year the first round admission of state and all India happens before the internship completion deadline. I'll give you the exact dates too. March 12th onwards usually counseling starts, and March 28th would be the last date of admissions for all India counseling, usually around March 27th, 28th. Internship completion date would be March 31st. So many candidates who are yet to complete their internship will get admission. What does admission mean? Admission means going to the institute, reporting, joining. Admission all mean the same thing. Going to the institute, reporting with your original certificate, paying the fees, filling all the forms that the institute asks for, and the institute mentioning in the intra-MCC portal that you have been admitted, and they will give you a letter that you have been admitted from MCC. This is admission. Courses won't commence, so internship completion date does not matter. Courses will commence after All India Round 2. You will finish your admission, come back and wait till All India Round 2 and a date which is specified by, and wait for a date which is specified by National Medical Commission, which will be the course commencement date. That will be after all Round 2, after All India Round 1, State Round 1 and All India Round 2. So those who are yet to complete internship can still get admitted in All India Round 1, State Round 1. So counselings may not need to wait for that actually, and it has always been happening like that in the past many years, except for the last 2 years where COVID related issues happened. It is as per regulations. So if you are yet to complete your internship, it is wiser now to get a certificate from the head of the institution or the principal saying that the candidate is expected to complete their internship by this particular date. That certificate will suffice for now. And in case you have completed your internship, an internship completion letter from the college that they will give, that will also work. Ignore this multiple state certificates. It was for a different purpose. Now registration certificate for the state medical council. You would have registered either got your permanent registration or your provisional registration in any state medical council, right? Not with NMC usually, but any state medical council, you would have got your provisional registration certificate at least. If the provisional registration certificate is available, take the provisional registration certificate if it is valid within the dates mentioned. It is not expired. If you have a permanent registration certificate, very good. take your permanent registration certificate, 90% of candidates would have a permanent registration certificate. It does not matter which state this permanent registration certificate or provisional registration certificate is from. Your registration in any state medical council is okay for admissions under All India. Let us say you are allotted in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Now, you are from the state of Maharashtra, you have registered in the state Maharashtra State Medical Council. Your state medical council registration is enough for admission in Andhra Pradesh, any institute in Andhra Pradesh through All India Counselling, no issues at all. Nobody will deny you admission. You have to anyways get a registration done in Andhra Pradesh for pursuing PG. When will you do that? You can do that after your courses commence. They will give you 1 to 2 months to do that registration in Andhra Pradesh Medical Council. But during admissions, what you need is a registration certificate from any state medical council. And second part to that is, there might be some candidates who have registered in multiple medical councils. I have did my MBBS from Delhi, let us say, and I registered in the Delhi Medical Council, and then I went ahead and my home state is Rajasthan. So I wanted to practice in Rajasthan. I went ahead and got an NOC from Delhi. And this is a provisional NOC for practice. I went ahead to Rajasthan. Rajasthan provided me a registration. I have a Delhi registration now, Rajasthan registration now. Both are valid. Might happen in certain cases where the home MBBS medical council provides an NOC and at the same time keeps your registration in that medical council alive. Both registrations can be active. This depends upon the institute. This depends upon the medical council which provides you an NOC. Now, if both are active, which one should I take? You can take any one of these. Doesn't matter. You can take Delhi, you can take Rajasthan for the admission in another state, let us say Andhra Pradesh. No issues as far as registration is concerned. All they are going to check is, do you have one valid registration in one state medical council is what they will check during All India admissions. Now, in case your provisional has expired, please apply for one. Some states may take 2 months and some states may ask your documents, etc. Keep it with them, etc. I think some of the states are still doing it and they are taking 1-2 months. We're not sure why. Everybody, even though NMC has asked everyone to move to this online thing, they're still doing it. In case your state is one of them, then ensure that you get your any expired medical registration now renewed. If your permanent medical registration is supposed to be renewed after 5 years in your medical council, then do that as well. Ensure that it is done at the earliest. Other essential certificate, there is a date of birth proof required. Usually secondary school certificate or a high school certificate or a birth certificate is enough for this. And you need to have an ID proof. This is the usual ID proof. Everywhere you go during admissions, you will have an Aadhaar, voter ID, passport or driving license, one of which will act as your identity and possibly, and you can use this is a photo identification as well. And you need to do your payment basically. So you be ready for your payment. Right now we are telling you what is required for the payment, which will happen possibly 2.5 months down the line. One, you will need to make payment at the institute, maybe through NEFT or RTGS if you are looking at deemed. So if you are making a payment through NEFT or RTGS, then ensure that there is no limitation in your account to make such payments. As far as NEFT, RTGS go, there is no limitation. While you are applying for registration for the MCC portal, there might be 2 lakhs amount which is required to be paid in case you are looking at deemed universities. So now itself check whether your debit card, credit card has a 2 lakh limit. That is for the registration and not for the payment of fee at the institute. But you will have to make provisions for payment of fee at the institute, and you can start now, which is in case it is a deemed institute, it is going to be a huge amount which you will have to plan for now. Especially those people who are going in for loans. Just know that for loans, you might possibly need an allotment letter or an admission letter from the institute, and only then your loan will be sanctioned. And it might take a longer period of time. So what you need to do is plan for at least the round 1 payment, first year payment, and then go for the loan. At the last minute, getting everything running around for an amount of the first year amount may be a little difficult. Some candidates have faced challenges, so it is always better to do that. Now, passport size photographs. Take enough copies of passport size photographs, and This need not necessarily be the one that you used in your NEET PG examination, but we know of certain states, let us say Tamil Nadu, mentions in their prospectus that use the same photograph that you took in the used in the NBE examination portal upload, etc. Don't need to worry about it. Nobody, at least we don't know of anybody who has been rejected because they missed that photograph, so don't need to worry about it. But if you have that photographs, take enough copies. It will be required till the end of admissions. You are going through round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, multiple admissions. It will help you. And finally, we come to the category certificates. Now, all these certificates that we discussed till now are required for everyone. Anyone who is going to join will be requiring all those certificates, and it is all that is required as an essential certificate. Other than that, you have the category certificate. First, we'll look at OBCNCL certificate. If you belong to the non-creamy layer and you have applied as OBC, you belong to the central OBCNCL list, you would have to get an OBCNCL certificate. If you missed getting that, please get it after April 1, 2023. And those who have already got that too, we always suggest that get one dated April 1, 2023 or later. The reason behind this is the notification, the proforma under the NEET PG exam brochure, the NBE exam brochure says that you have to get an OBCNCL which is based on financial year ending March 31, 2023. Only after the financial year ends, which is financial year ends, you will be able to have a certificate which ends after financial year ending March 31, 2023. So it is very clear you have to get a certificate after April 1, 2023. Some institutes do accept an earlier certificates. Some states give a certificate with a validity of 1 year crossing April 1, 2023. But there might be complications. We suggest to the level best get one after April 1, 2023. We don't know what MCC will come up with in this year's examination brochure. Last year they did not come up with any. The previous year they came up with an issue date. Prior to that 3 years they did not tell anything. All that they mentioned is now consistently take a certificate after with financial year ending March 31, 2023. That is the only information we have got. So if you it is always better to have a certificate now taken after April 1, 2023. Same as with an EWS certificate, there is still confusion on the dates, etc. Unlike AIMS or INICET, there is no proper intimation on what are the dates, date of issue of certificate, etc. So EWS certificate, you can also take an EWS certificate which is dated after April 1, 2023 for the current financial year. They may accept an earlier one. We don't know. This confusion exists every year. But we know of certain institutes like for OBC at least we know of some Delhi institutes creating an issue if that is a previous year financial year certificate quoting this whatever is mentioned in the pro forma, etc. Some institutes asking you to submit it within 7 days, go ahead and keep following up with you, etc. So better to take that. And PWD certificate, as far as PWD candidates are concerned, this is a certificate. You would have applied as PWD. This is a certificate that you need to take online after MCC notifies. So what MCC will do is it will open up an online portal which will be connected to all the 17 disability center medical officers who provide the certificates. So you go to all the 17 disability centers which are listed in the portal. After this opens up online for this academic year and MCC will intimate the dates, you will go through an evaluation process of 2 to 3 days and then there will be a certificate that is issued online. The certificate usually is issued online or it is printed out and a signature is provided by the individual with us. So basically it is issued online with a digital signature or a signature is after taking a printout from the online portal which MCC prescribes. The medical officer or the person who is evaluating you will finally sign over it and authorize it. For that certificate alone is allowed for admissions under PWD quota. So get that certificate, but as of now you don't need to do anything. There's no point in doing something now, going to the medical disability centers, etc. Wait for that is our suggestion. Last year after everybody went ahead and got the certificates, they came up with this entire rule saying that you'll have to do it online. So everybody has to go ahead, had to go and do it online. You will need to take your local disability certificates like from your district authority as per RPWD Act, whatever is provided by the medical officer, and all your in case you have your UEDA or study period, and you also need a certificate mentioning a self affidavit that you need to provide, and your NEET PG admit card, etc. We will have, and a family relationship, a family tree mentioning how the person who is sponsoring you is related to you, whether the person is a first degree relative, etc. So this we'll take up in a separate session. We are coming to the last two certificates, Jain minority and Muslim minority certificate. Jain minority, you will have to get a certificate. I think some of the you can check with SBKS Vadodara if you are a Jain minority candidate. This we are discussing only for all India, so we are limiting it to institutes of all India. And I think Jain minority is usually a certificate which is taken from the board, but you can check with SBKS Vadodara. Muslim minority certificate, we'll let you know what Muslim minority certificates are required. Hamdard, Delhi and Yenapoya are the only Muslim minority institutes. We connected with these institutes last year and the candidates to check what was accepted and what they had provided. Yenapoya was a little confused on what certificates are required, but then one thing is any state minority category certificate. Basically, from your home state, you will be able to get a Muslim minority certificate from the person, from a Tahsildar usually, or the district collector's office. That is enough for joining Hamdard or Yenapoya. That is the first set of certificates that are required. Second, in Hamdard, they were very clear, and in fact, they put in a notification too, that any government college certificate or a transfer certificate which mentions that Muslim minority, mentions that you belong to the Muslim minority community is enough. And a self affidavit, this is in addition to that, a 100 rupees stamp paper self affidavit mentioning that you have submitted the certificate and you belong to the Muslim minority is required for Hamdard. For Yenapoya, a minority community certificate is required, is okay, is what they had mentioned. Still, we will check again this year and let you know what else is required. Gap certificate, the biggest confusion in any group is this gap certificate. We have already mentioned that earlier too. What is a gap certificate is a query that will come up. When somebody, this will start when somebody says, where can I get a gap certificate in the group? And everybody will be startled, because every state other than Maharashtra, nobody would have possibly known this, that there is a gap certificate required for education, except for possibly one or two states, Chhattisgarh or maybe some institutes in Delhi. Now everybody will come up with what is a gap certificate, because that has to be taken for admissions. What will I do? The gap certificate is not required for any candidate other than those who are going to join Maharashtra institutes. No other institutes ask for a gap certificate. There might be one Delhi institute rarely asking for a gap certificate, but that is also possible. It is also possible. We'll have to check on which institute that is in case, and we'll get back to you in case that is required. But getting a gap certificate is the simplest of things. There is nothing much in a gap certificate. We'll tell you what is the format, and we'll also tell you what is required for a gap certificate. So this is a simple affidavit. Hope you are able to see the screen on the gap certificate on the screen. This is a simple affidavit which says that you have been residing in a particular state, you have passed your MBBS exam from this month to this month, and you have not joined any educational institution till then, or even if you have joined at this place, but there is a gap. I say that from this period to this period is my gap period. I was working during the period, or I was actually preparing during the period, anything, and I am doing this to pursue my studies in the college. This has to be signed by you only first on a 100 rupees stamp paper, which is easy to get anywhere. You sign it. There will be a notary right next to where you get a stamp paper within between max 1 to 2 kilometers from your place, or search for it on Google. Get it signed by a notary, an advocate who will be able to sign it. Sign that whatever, basically notarize what you have mentioned here. This can be got even now, and you will be able to get that within minimal time. And even if you don't have a gap certificate, you go to Maharashtra institutes, they will give you time to submit a gap certificate. Admissions will be over, you can submit it later, or you can go to a notary nearby and get this gap certificate done. So this is the simplest of certificates, don't need to worry about it. If you are not going to join Maharashtra is not in your list of choices, don't even need to get the gap certificate done. Finally, you have the bond submission letter. Bond is a requirement in many states. This is not part of the essential certificates, but many state government institutes insist on giving this bond agreement, and only then they will allow you for admission. Some may be flexible, but most of them ask for this bond certificate. So how do I get it now? Not possible, because you will have to know which institute you are going to be allotted, and from that institute you will have to call, after allotment you will have to call up the nodal officer, and the nodal officer will tell you that this is the format, and they will give you the format. They will tell you whether a bond agreement format and printed on a stamp paper and facilitation options to facilitate the entire thing are available at the institute itself, in a nearby photostat shop or in a nearby stationery shop, whether it is available. Usually it is available. Then they will ask you to come there and then do it. In some cases, this might not be possible because the surety signature has to be taken by somebody who is not your parent who is accompanying you. In that case alone, you will have to get a surety signature from a parent or a brother if they are not accompanying. You will have to print it from your home location, get it signed in the format provided by the institute. So all this can be done after allotment only, nothing to be, no need to worry about it now, but you can get it from your home location, a stamp paper from your home location, get it signed from your parents or any surety, and then take it to the institute. Who needs to sign it also depends upon which institute you are going to join. So this is something that you will have to be very clear about. Now the next part is also you need to be clear about the fact that there are two institutes, PGIMER, maybe Delhi basically, may be a little inflexible as far as stamp papers are concerned. We still don't know why, but they ask for stamp papers to be taken from Delhi and then the bond to be signed, and in which case the sureties have to be with you. Last year, 1 or 2 candidates submitted it from their state, so they have started becoming a little flexible, but only for those institutes which are little inflexible, you might have an issue, but otherwise, even in that case, anything can be, you will know which is a bond format only after you get your allotment. You also have the migration eligibility and NOC terms thrown out. Migration certificate, what is eligibility certificate, what is an NOC. All three are not requirements as far as admissions go. MCC has clearly prescribed that they are not part of the essential documents. So what you need to do is, what you can do now is, we will give you the link of what these are. We'll mention in brief. Let us say you completed MBBS from a particular university in Maharashtra, MUHS, and you are moving to do MBBS from a different university. Then you need a migration certificate from Maharashtra University and you need to take it to the new university. Let us say the new university is in Telangana, KNR-UHS. So from Maharashtra University, you get a migration certificate, take it to KNR-UHS. KNR-UHS will give you an eligibility certificate basis the migration certificate, and that you submit at the institute. That is required for your admission. All this can happen later. No institute will insist that we will stop admission with a migration certificate. They have not done that. Certain cases in state quota may happen, but all India quota they usually don't. Even if they do, they will ask you to apply for something or bring your migration certificate. But still, if your university is ready to give a migration certificate now, and you are sure that you are going to a different university, or you think that higher possibilities to go to a different university, then you go ahead and get a migration certificate now itself from your university, have it with you. It will take possibly 2-3 days only. It can be applied online in many universities. Check that, check whether they have opened application, they will give your migration certificate now. Eligibility you can't take now at all. Why? You don't know where you are going to be admitted. You will not be able to take an eligibility unless you know the university you are going to be admitted in. So eligibility definitely is not possible now. Migration you can take it now, subject to whether your university is ready to give or not. Second part regarding the migration certificate is that some institutes, some universities do not provide migration unless you provide an admission letter. So in those universities, you will not be able to take a migration certificate. Wait for the final allotment and then get your allotment letter go there and then get your migration certificate. The institute nodal officers at times will tell you that a migration certificate is required. It is fine, they will tell you, you go to the institute without the migration certificate, telling them that my university will only give me, only after the admissions, I will not be able to get it, it will take 7 days. They will go ahead with admissions. If you have a problem, call us on that. Okay, so NOC is required for registration. Like we said, let us say you have a Rajasthan Medical Council registration, you are joining the state of Kerala. You will need to get an NOC from Rajasthan Medical Council to practice in Kerala. Basically, you will be a JR during your MDMS course. So then an NOC is required for registration. This is also required if you are going to do a DNB. Note that migration and eligibility are required for MDMS only, because you are moving from university to university. NOC is anyways, in case you are going to do a DNB, there is no migration certificate concept at all, though some hospitals insist, there is no concept at all. As far as NOC goes, it is a registration related thing related to your practice as a JR. So you will need it irrespective of whether you are going to do an MDMS or a DNB. In that state, you will have to register. In case you are already registered in a different state, NOC is required. They will give you solid 2 months after admission, the course commencement, to do that. Don't need to worry about this NOC too. And so that is pretty much. We will look at the other certificates that are required. GAP certificate we actually went through. So these are certificates that are not essential, first of all. And some institutes will put these as part of their list of certificates required during joining. Deemed universities, government institutes will ask for these certificates during joining. Your admission should not ideally be stopped because of these certificates, but if you have, and we are not suggesting that you get all these certificates at all. Okay, what will be required? If at all you have these certificates, get them ready now. In case there are only 1 or 2 which are missing, let us say you wanted to take a study certificate for a long time, you did not take it, go to your institute or check with a junior in your institute and ask them to arrange for a study or a bona fide certificate. So first is MBBS study or bona fide certificate. It is confused, the terms are confused. MBBS study certificate, bona fide certificates are confusing terms. Bona fide usually is a simple letter from the institute stating that you did study from this institute from this period to this period and you are a bona fide student of the institute. That is as simple as that, with your registration number or roll number or something of something that documents it. Next, a study certificate is also similar, saying that you studied from this year to this year this course, and possibly in some cases they also give a list of courses that you studied, which they also mention as in some cases under different terms. So that is also similar to your bona fide. You usually both go together. One instead of other is okay. Some institutes alone insist on it. If you have it, otherwise it is fine. Attempt certificate mentions the number of attempts that you have done before your passing your MBBS. This is not relevant at all. The number of attempts is not relevant. All you need is a certificate. It is not relevant for admissions in terms of or merit based allocation. Nothing depends on this. Course completion certificate is something that you would have received immediately after you complete your course. If you don't have that too, then not a problem. If you have a bona fide, it is understood that you have completed your course. Character and contact certificate, many institutes have this character and contact mentioned either in the degree, some even mentioned in the degree, some mentioned in the bona fide certificate or in the course completion certificate. You can have some level document which is mentions that the character or contact is good, etc. This is not required anywhere. Most of them don't ask for this character or contact, and it will not be a limitation in terms of joining. MCA recognition letter is an issue. What happens is, some states actually ask for this, like Karnataka, let us say, asks for an MCA recognition letter, or there are certain states which will ask for it at the time of verification or validation. So if you require these certificates, then go to you can go to the institute where you studied and ask them for a letter. Some institutes may have it in their portal itself. You can download that. If it is not available in the portal, or if your institute says that we will not take printed PDFs, you have to go get an original certificate. You go to the institute or connect with the institute and ask them for an NMC recognition certificate or an MCA recognition certificate. They will give you a certificate which clearly mentions the date of recognition and the letter, quoting the letter which MCA sent to them for recognition. That is the usual format. You get it from your institute. That is enough. You don't have that. In that case, you can go to NMC portal, and then under NMC portal, select your institute, whichever institute you studied in. And from that institute, in that you will be able to see the entire recognition details, where a printout of this page will help you in getting the certificate. If you do it as only MBBS, it is equivalent to the certificate, NMC recognition certificate. You can give this. Many institutes accept this too. They will not ask for any other details, or rather they will ask, okay, we will accept this, but we will ask you to bring one later. The later may not necessarily happen at all. And applying for nativity, in case, so this is something that is very important for state counselings. In case your state asks for nativity or residency or domicile certificate, check the eligibility or validity of your existing nativity, or if you don't have one, apply for a nativity certificate now itself. For who is it, for which set of candidates is this required? You are an MBBS from a state and you are eligible for the government quota institutes of that state. No, MBBS eligibility is fine. If you are a native of the state and you are claiming eligibility based on nativity, domicile, residence, or in terms of origin, then you might need a certificate which will prove your nativity, domicile, or residence. That certificate needs to be taken usually from a Tahsildar or an authority or in an 𝗚𝗲𝘁𝗶𝗶𝗶 center, and you will have to get that before the counselling, because your eligibility in itself is based on that, or your reservation possibly may be based on that. Only for residence or domicile, or basically only for native or resident domicile candidates usually there is reservation. So get those certificates as well. In case you have state level community or minority certificates, get that. So here we come to the state level minority or community certificates. OBCNCL is a central certificate. It is based on a central list of OBC seats, OBC castes, and a central creamy layer criteria. Some states will have a completely different backward class reservation, like BC, MBC in Tamil Nadu. You might have OBCA, OBCB in certain states. You might have SCBC or different classifications in some states. OBC 1, 2, 3 in some states, or OBC itself classified as some under different terms. So that certificate needs to be provided for state counselling, and that is different from OBCNCL in many states. The criteria might not be the same, the list of castes might be different or split. So you have to get that for your local state government counselling. And you have a list of minority certificates as well. What are these minority certificates? This is maybe Telugu minority, Tamil minority, or religious minority in terms of Muslim minority, which is relevant for those set of seats which are under that state, in case there is an institution which belongs to the minority community and provides information. And you have the service certificates as well. So this is the other list of candidate certificates that certain states ask for. Why are we discussing it here under All India Counselling? That is a query, right? Why do we need to confuse ourselves regarding this? See, many institutes in fact, or many states, their DME or institutes put in this list also along with All India joining. They will have one list saying for admissions, these are the list of certificates required. So in that case, you should be very clear that these are all essential certificates. You can take these, or at least talk to the nodal officer saying that I may not have one or two of these certificates because I don't belong to your state and it is not relevant for me. And second, some of them are usually for state counselling. MCC has already mentioned a list of essential ones which I am going to carry, and you carry those. If you can get these now, good. Otherwise, you go with whatever essential certificates are there. Should not be a problem at all. The only addition that we always suggest to the essential certificates other than the category ones are the bond one which you need to carry, which MCC may not come back, MCC may not come back to your rescue in case they don't allow you for admission without the bond certificate. Beyond this, we will discuss two things, a bank guarantee and a solvency. We will tell you what a bank guarantee or a solvency is. Some states insist on a bank guarantee or a solvency certificate for government institutes when they join the institute. This may also happen for state private institutes, but we are not going into that now. We are only looking at All India Counselling based joining where a bank guarantee or a solvency is required. Bank guarantee we will take first, both are a little different. First we will take a bank guarantee certificate. A bank guarantee certificate is a certificate provided by a bank to your institute with in your name. This is basically a tripartite agreement. You, the bank and your institute get into an agreement. For instance, ESI has a bond of 10 lakhs. What is the bond? 10 lakhs and 2 years is the bond. They need a bank guarantee for this 10 lakhs for basically mentioning that in case you don't complete the bond service, you will have to, the bank will provide 10 lakhs to the institute. So what is it? In case you don't complete the bond period of 2 years after the completion of your course, then the bank will provide 10 lakhs to the institute. This is a tripartite agreement. So will the bank do, when will the bank do it? The bank will do it only if you deposit 10 lakhs in your bank account with that bank in cash, which is available in your bank account. They will hold it till you complete your 2 years, which is 3 plus 2 years service, and only give it back to you after the institute says that you have completed your bond service, and this can be nullified. This entire tripartite agreement can be nullified. So this is a bank guarantee. For that you will need 10 lakhs, right? But as far as ESI is concerned, at the beginning of the second year, not during your first year during admissions, at the beginning of the second year when you start your admissions, you will have to give a bank guarantee of 5 lakhs. So you will have to have 5 lakhs after the second year starts, nothing during admissions. You will have your bank, you will have an attached bank, you can easily get it. The 5 lakhs, you will have to plan for it. You will get as good as 75,000 to 95,000, 1 lakh as 75,000 to 95,000 as stipend. You may be able to save that as well for the bank guarantee. So you will go to the bank, give them 5 lakhs, they will actually give you a bank guarantee to the institute. At the third year, you will have to give again a 5 lakh bank guarantee, which makes it total 10 lakhs, and then you will get the amount back after 2 years of completion of bond service. 10 lakhs will be returned to you. Till that point in time, you will not be able to take any withdraw the amount of 10 lakhs from the bank. Bank will hold this. Now, in case you don't have 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs, you can actually go with you pledge a property or an asset, and you will be given a loan on that asset, and that loan amount will be there in your bank account. You will be paying interest for the property, for the pledged property, for the loan you have taken against the property, but that will be available in your account, and you will be able to get a bank guarantee against that amount available in your account. As even though it is a loan, that is an amount available, you have availed a loan and the cash is available in your account, therefore you will get a bank guarantee. In case you cannot plan for 5 lakhs at the beginning of the second year. So this is as far as ESI is concerned. The other bank guarantee that, the only other bank guarantee that we are aware of is the 1.5 lakh bank guarantee in Rajasthan. If there is anything else, there might be one more, we will just get back to you on that. Rajasthan during joining will ask for a bank guarantee of 1.5 lakhs. Usually they don't ask this now. At the time of round 1 admissions, they will allow you to join just by paying, by giving an affidavit. But during round 2, they will ask you to give a bank guarantee of 1.5 lakhs and a 3.5 lakh affidavit against seat leaving penalty, not against service bond, but against seat leaving penalty. In case you leave the seat after joining, after the last date of admissions, the seat lapse, then you have to pay 5 lakhs, of which 1.5 lakhs is a bank guarantee. This this will also follow the same process before round 2 sometime. In case you are finalizing your seat in round 2, at that point in time, you need to give a bank guarantee of 1.5 lakhs. Same process, like we mentioned, go to a bank, deposit 1.5 lakhs. They will give you a bank guarantee document that you can take to the institution. It is a tripartite agreement. So done. This is as far as bank guarantee is concerned. Then we will come to solvency. Bank solvency is also a document, but this may involve a pledge or of a property in some cases, like in the case of Gujarat, where a bank solvency of 10 lakhs is asked at the time of admissions. Last year, candidates being the first year, Gujarat has a 1 year 40 lakh bond period. As part of the bond, 10 lakhs has to be provided in the term as a bank solvency, and another 30 lakhs in the form of an affidavit. It's a simple agreement, stamp paper that you need to give for the 30 lakhs. 10 lakhs has to be in the form of a bank solvency. Some candidates were able to delay this by providing a 300 rupees affidavit saying that I will provide this bank solvency at a later point in time, because they were not able to manage it for since this was the first time that Gujarat came up with last year for all India quota, so they were not able to manage it. But the idea is that you will provide 10 lakhs pledge on a property. Property is actually, as per notifications, should be in the state of Gujarat, but some candidates were able to do that outside. Otherwise, you provide a 10 lakh bank solvency through a particular agreement, and you will be able to get that bank solvency. Actually, Punjab also asks for a bank solvency of 10 lakhs, but this needs to be signed by two. There are two different people who will have to sign for a bank solvency of 10 lakhs each, but this does not require any amount to be deposited anywhere. It is just an agreement saying that in case you don't complete the course, or in case you don't fulfill the bond period, the particular person is responsible, more of an agreement, but it should be authorized by a proper authority, and that makes it a little difficult as against a bond agreement. A bond agreement usually is just a signature where the surety signs, but these need to be authorized, so that is a slightly different. We'll get back to you when we discuss Punjab and other states. So these are the only things that you need to remember as far as the counseling documents go. In case there are any other new documents that come up, we'll just get back to you. I'll just look at in any for availing state quota. So you don't need for availing your state quota, you may not need your permanent registration in that state. All states are flexible that way. As long as you are eligible for that particular state, you will be you'll be able to apply for that state quota. It does not need a permanent medical registration. We are not aware of any state that insists on a permanent medical registration. We'll check on that and get back to you. But as long as you're eligible for through your MBBS or your domicile, that should be it. You may not need a permanent certificate. And we'll check the other ones. Can you just help me out with this? Sorry, pretty poor with YouTube and comments. Yeah. So state quota. Okay, so it is the same query. If we have a state quota for UG seat, you can let us know which state you belong to. We'll just check and let you know. Internship completion certificate in original, is it an essential document? Yeah, it is an essential document. Your internship completion certificate is an essential document. I don't know what challenge you are facing as far as this is concerned. This internal certificate original is concerned, but just let us know what possibly if you're a ZyNerd subscriber, you can mail us, or you can also call us. We'll be able to help you out with that. And UG state quota. See, UG states like Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat allow you based on your MBBS. Some states like let us say Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala allow you based on nativity or domicile or origin or education done there, etc. as well. Gujarat allows now domicile also. So whichever, based on what you are eligible for that state is what defines what certificate you need. You maybe if let us say you have done your MBBS from a particular state, check in that particular state whether you are eligible based on your MBBS. If your domicile is a different state, check in that domicile state whether you are eligible based domicile. So that is all you need to check. If you are eligible based domicile, domicile certificate is required. If you are eligible based MBBS, MBBS certificate is required. The registration may not play a part here. Some states like Tamil Nadu mention that you have to get a registration done, etc. That is not required. They don't. They clearly know that that is not a requirement, and they just put in just for the sake of it. UG state is Maharashtra and permanent residence is Haryana. So UG state by Maharashtra, you will just need your MBBS for eligibility. You can have any medical certificate. You will see the Maharashtra prospectus. You will have any medical certificate as far as Maharashtra is concerned. And as far as Haryana, we will just get back based on residence. What is it? Whether eligibility and what documents are required based on permanent residence. We will just check and get back. UG Maharashtra, just your MBBS is enough. You can be registered anywhere, don't need to worry about that. And internship completion, if you can tell us what is the issue, we'll just check on that. I think that is pretty much on the queries. In case there are any other queries, we'll just get back to you. Just post it over here. We'll get back to you on the with the responses. We will be doing a session on Tamil Nadu tomorrow for government quota of Tamil Nadu, basically in detail on what information is available and more importantly on how to look at data for Tamil Nadu. Many candidates had benefited last year. You can have a look at it and join us tomorrow. In the meantime, we would request you to actually spread the word forward on ZyNerd and what features we offer. We've got excellent response, but I think it should reach most of them who are looking at such information in a structured manner and who are looking at guidance in a very detailed manner with info being available on almost everything that can be sourced. All the best to all of you. Just keep looking at information and do the evaluation till the counseling starts. Don't miss out. Keep calling up people. Do the evaluation. It is difficult to start, but evaluate institutes, which is a primary for the entire counseling choice filling, which is you have 2 months to do that. Do it properly. You'll be able to get the best seat that you deserve. And for the rest, other than the evaluation, ZyNerd is there always for you. All the best.